report.
But it hasn't been inspected yet.
Okay.
That's why we.
Yeah, so I guess.
I mean, we've looked at, town's looked at it, your consultant looked
It's
at
with,
it.
yeah, it's with Mike's.
Yeah, it's a short, very short list. I'm comfortable accepting it.
Okay, well, yeah, but
Bunch of hold back the money for
there was
these.
there was a couple items that I think were not really, that were recommendations, not necessarily germane to street acceptance. For example, one of the driveways didn't have a finished coat of top on it, which, but the sidewalk area is done, so that's actually on the lot. And so while that it's something that needs to be done, it has nothing, it's not within the layout, it has nothing to do with the road.
That's somebody else's issue.
That's right, well, it's between the
I think he was
home
concerned.
buyer and the developer, not.
Well, we could wait and make our recommendation at town meeting.
And the other item,
That's what we're doing.
the other item, is that there was a recommendation, of a corral type fence between the bus stop and the front of a detention pond. But we, again, it's not, doesn't show on the plan, so it's not a requirement of the plan. And our answer to that is we're gonna talk to the building inspector, have him go take a look, and then we'll, talk to
If he
the
thinks
developer.
it's a safety issue.
Because if we think it's a safety issue, we'll talk to the developer about some kind of mitigation there. But again, that's not something that, it's not on the plan, so it's.
So
not a
everything's been
requirement.
satisfied according to the plan, and is there
Yeah.
sufficient, and if it wasn't, there's sufficient money still being held
Well,
to?
there's still a bond there that
Still
would be
bond.
more than enough to take care of this, and I
Yeah.
spoke with the developer briefly about it, and, while, he wasn't in a hurry to go throw a fence up there, he did agree that if, to some extent, that if the building inspector, that we would talk about it, we'd see what, if that was
All right, so-
necessary.
You haven't voted on it yet,
Yeah.
but there isn't anything that impedes a favorable vote, because according to the plans, it's been met.
If something between now and then, if something unfavorable comes back, we will, at town meeting, we would then we would not recommend it ourselves.
I would move to recommend it town meeting.
Since people live there and we're providing services on it, I still recommend we accept it. We have money held in abeyance to take care of any deficiencies and probably then some, right?
Yes.
So
And that
unless
gets
there's a Grand Canyon gonna open up onto something, I recommend accepting it.
And again, this adds to our mileage, which helps our reimbursements, right? And we don't get in the situation we were before, accepting all
We're
the.
talking a week. I'd recommend it town meeting. I wanna see what,
We're ready to accept it. I mean, if everything, as long as the report comes back, and I believe everything's done,
Okay, if
I don't
there's-
see an issue with it.
I guess my position, my recommendation to the board would be, since the CPC hasn't formally voted on it, let's make our recommendation at town meeting.
I agree.
They're gonna make a report
Yep.
anyway at town meeting. I'll entertain a motion, Mr. Delaney.
I'd move to reserve recommendation or non-recommendation of Article 26 until town meeting.
Our recommendation, one way or the other.
And do I hear a second?
Give us a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I did step out, but.
I mean, if you'd like, we can whip up another controversial zoning article.
Recommended?
Yeah, we discussed that.
Be
quiet.
Yeah, we discussed
Apparently, we
that.
didn't make any recommendations.
Bob, I'll take all of these. I'll do
Take
them
up
all
to
while I'm up there.
Okay.
16 through
I'm done after that.
26.
26. Michael, you're 16 through 26.
I got them all. I have 14 through 26.
Thank you,
Mike, your voice will hold out for the next three.
Hey, I had to do all of them here.
Well, we
the other
might,
night. Holy cow.
Can we do them all at once?
I don't think so.
I can't see why you couldn't.
If we've done it that way before, we can.
Well, we'll check with John.
Yeah.
You have to remember that at town meeting, if somebody that
Gets
lives
up.
on one of those streets has an objection.
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, but that's all right, but you can.
But they can
you
object.
You can accept it all in one motion and just say, is there any discussion on any of it?
I have no
All right,
problem
we'll
with that.
determine that
Oh,
Monday
awesome.
night. Article 27,
TBD.
amend the code, general bylaws, chapter 5, records and reports. Town clerk had briefed us on this.
Yeah.
I feel like it was back again.
You're back. I'm sorry, I didn't see you.
I think town meeting's gonna go faster than this meeting, everyone.
You took two articles out in a very.
It just took 2 hours out of
Never say
the
never.
town meeting,
I
at
think
least.
we just took 2 hours out by passing over.
All right,
I
we
don't
did
think
go
we-
over this.
Are there any questions for Barbara at this point? I think we've discussed it.
Yep,
I'll
the
entertain
next
a
three.
motion on Article 27.
Motion to recommend Article 27.
Second, we hear a second. Second by Mr. O'Leary. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
Was that Article 26?
27.
27.
So who's doing that one?
I'll
Me?
be glad
You?
to do that.
Doesn't matter.
You're gonna do that, Jeff?
Let's
You
do
got all those
the,
other ones. What have I got, three?
Balance
I
it
got
out.
three.
isn't it, okay.
I only have one,
Got
I'll do it.
47.
You're
I'll
gonna
do
take
it.
it?
Who's doing that?
Hey,
Bob.
Article 28.
Move to recommend Article 28.
I second.
I
What is it?
I like this.
Part of the records and report.
Oh.
On the motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
So you're doing that one too, Bob?
Yes. Article 29. This is to
Change April to June, basically,
April to June.
in 3 sections of the bylaw.
Move to recommend Article 29.
Second.
motion by Mr. Delaney, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. I
Barbara,
guess
great
I'll do
job.
that. Sorry, Barbara.
That's okay.
3 hours for that?
See you in a week. Let's do this again.
Let's not.
Bob, are you doing 29?
Yeah, Bob's doing
Yes,
29.
I'm doing it. Okay.
Sorry, Barbara.
Okay.
Pleasure, Chef.
We have other items on our agenda. We have the minutes of July 25th, 2011. Mr. Prisco.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the July 25th, 2011 regular session minutes as written.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Executive session of July 25th. Mr. Prisco.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve July 25th, 2011 executive session minutes as written.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. August 8th, regular session. Mr. Prisco.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve August 8th, 2011 regular session minutes as written.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. August 8th, executive session. Mr. Prisco.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve August 8th, 2011 executive session minutes as written.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
We took that out of order.
Regular session, Mr. Prisco, of August 22nd.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve August 22nd, 2011 regular session minutes as written.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Mr. Prisco, August 22nd, executive session.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the August 22nd, 2011 executive session minutes as written.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. We also have the minutes of September 6, 2011, regular session. Mr. Prisco.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve September 6th, 2011 regular session minutes as written.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. We also have the executive session of September 6th. Mr. Prisco.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the September 6th, 2011 executive session minutes as written.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. Next item on our agenda, we have the appointments of the Commission on Disabilities and Veterans Committee. Disabilities first.
Mr. Chairman. Oh, which one? I'm sorry. You said disability, okay. Mr. Chairman, I move to place in nomination the following name for appointment as member of the Commission on Disability for a term to expire on December 31st, 2013. Leo R. Romano, 63 Central Street, Unit 206.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Prisco, second by Mr. O'Leary. Mr. Prisco.
We're in desperate need of members, new members, so we're excited that Mr. Romano has stepped up and agreed to join the committee. So I've only heard good things about him, and I look forward to working with him on the committee.
On the motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. We also have an appointment for the Veterans Committee. Mr. Prisco.
It's an associate member appointment.
Associate member, okay.
Mr. Chairman, I move to place in nomination the following name for appointment as an associate member on the Veterans Committee for a term to expire on December 31st, 2013. John Weiss, 17 Old Randover Road.
Motion by Mr. Prisco. Do I hear a second?
Second,
Second by Mr. Yule. Discussion.
yes. As an associate, does he have a voting
No,
right? No.
just a worker bee.
What's his
Just a worker bee?
background? Have you talked to him?
I have not. It was forwarded to me by Susan to request to put him on the board. She has a relationship with this individual. So I agreed to go forward with it based on her recommendation. Is there an issue?
This gentleman member of past boards or some other board? The name's awful familiar, I just don't,
You saw it public office before.
name just looked familiar, I just don't know from where, that's all.
I don't know.
Well, we have a motion. I don't hear any
You may
further.
wanna contact him,
Okay.
his liaison, just touch base maybe, and make a recommendation. At that point.
Yeah, why don't we, I'll take back the motion and I'll put it on hold and I'll get,
You made the second?
I did,
Mr.
it's
Yule,
okay.
withdraw your second? Okay.
So, second.
Put it on the agenda for our next meeting, or whenever you
Yeah.
make contact with the individual.
you got it.
Okay, we've discussed and voted the recommendations of the October town meeting,
You wanna get back to that? No.
What?
You don't wanna
No,
reconsider any of those?
definitely not, Steve. Town administrators report,
Bob.
I'm sure Greg doesn't
Brief-
wanna go back either.
Briefly, very briefly, just an update, ready to proceed on the hiring of the 2 new firefighter paramedics, as Chief Warnock indicated this evening. We have scheduled appointment dates of October 5th and October 6th. For swearing in, once we get through town meeting and the funding has been approved, we're ready to roll that out. Additionally, we have 2 new police officers. Interviews will be coming up in the police department, and anticipate making a hiring decision the week of October 10th. It's a little bit longer because it's civil service. We're hostage to the list process. So that's the reason why these positions have taken so long to fill. And then the final update on job hirings is the Human Resources Department has submitted some additional resumes for those interested in applying for the Finance Director position. You recall that the position was reposted. We had a closing date of last Friday. We received an additional 5 resumes, which have already been forwarded to the screening committee as of today, and we'll make a decision in terms of whether we want to interview 1 or more people on that
When was
list.
that done? I don't recall seeing it.
Tonight,
Today, yeah.
tonight. During the discussion on the
Inclusionary
inclusionary
zone?
zoning.
Okay.
Thank you.
And are you gonna schedule a meeting?
What I've asked for is I've asked for commentary back through me, and if there's a consensus, we'll go ahead and schedule a meeting date.
Yeah, you
This'll
gonna
be
be downloading
first.
those resumes to that file you had before for Dropbox?
On its way.
Okay.
It's the beauty about having
So all the board members will see the resumes?
Yes,
I'm still surprised there were only.
It's amazing, what do we have, total 16
16, Sean.
combined out of the 2 postings?
Some good
I'm
candidates.
shocked,
Yeah.
shocked.
Okay, anything else, Greg?
No, thank you, that's it.
Okay, old and new business, Mr. O'Leary?
Nothing there, I think right now, other than urging people to attend town meeting next Monday. Appreciate their coming down and have them exercise their rights or express their opinions on the matters and help us get through it in one night.
Good.
We'll see them Monday night.
Mr. Prisco?
Yeah, just, this year, actually gonna do something a little slightly different. The high school, some of the band members are going to give a little pre-town meeting concert while people are getting into their seats. They're gonna hear some music from them. So please come early, come as early as you can. Allow the kids to entertain you a little bit prior to the start of town meeting. I think it's a wonderful thing. And
Why don't you say what time they're gonna start?
they're gonna start at around 6:30. and they should be off the stage around 6:50, 6:55, and give us about 5 minutes to get all get in our seats and get things started. That's the game plan.